Imagine navigating a world where, I don't know, everyday object scissors, maybe school desks, even just the way things are laid out, feel subtly designed against you. That's actually the daily reality for a fascinating minority of the population, a group whose very existence has, well, baffled scientists and definitely captivated historians for ages. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the unique world of left-handedness.
Yeah, it's a great topic.
We've pulled together a stack of sources, from cutting-edge scientific research to really old historical accounts. And we want to explore the quirks, the historical struggles, and maybe the surprising strengths that come with being one of the world's, about 10% of left-handers.
Around that, yeah.
Our mission for you today is really to cut through the noise, try to unravel some of the mysteries, and deliver the truly impactful insights. Into the advantages and the distinct brain wiring of left-handed individuals. Think of it as your shortcut to being genuinely well-informed on this.
And it's really remarkable, isn't it, how something so seemingly simple as which hand you prefer can unlock such, profound insights into human biology, culture, even our evolution. This deep dive, I think, will reveal that handedness is far more than just a preference. It's intricately woven into the fabric of our brains and really our collective human story.
Okay, so let's start with the numbers then, because they tell a powerful story on their own. Statistically, like we said, only about 1 in 10 people identifies as left-handed.
Right.
But what's truly striking, according to our sources, is how incredibly consistent that ratio seems to be. We're talking thousands of years.
Exactly. Archaeologists have found evidence like left-hand prints in ancient cave art. It shows this minority has been with us since, deep antiquity.
So you're looking at a consistent minority across millennia. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Why? Why are they such a small group, and why hasn't that balance shifted over such a huge span of time?
That consistency is, it's one of the great puzzles. Because handedness isn't some simple genetic switch, and it's certainly not about just one environmental factor. It seems to be this complex interplay of genetic predispositions, maybe subtle influences in the womb environment, and even some random developmental factors that, frankly, we're still trying to fully understand.
Okay.
But if we drill down to maybe a core insight, the most profound discovery is how left-handedness is intrinsically linked to, unique brain wiring.
The brain connection.
Right. So for most right-handers, the brain's left hemisphere typically dominates language and logic, and the right hemisphere takes the lead on things like creativity, spatial skills, standard stuff. But for many left-handers, that's not quite the case. Their brains often distribute language and logic across both hemispheres.
Interesting.
Yeah, giving them a distinct and often maybe more flexible way of processing information. The real brilliance, our sources suggest, isn't just being different. It's about this distributed processing. It's a neural architecture that might make them uniquely adaptable, maybe even more resilient to certain cognitive challenges.
That structural difference is absolutely fascinating. It really is. And what's truly thought-provoking is that despite these potential neural advantages you're talking about, being left-handed wasn't always seen as a gift.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Oh, definitely not.
I mean, it had a truly dark and difficult history. Just think about the word sinister.
Yeah.
It actually comes from the Latin word for left.
Right. Tells you everything.
That immediately tells you how deeply ingrained that negative perception was. For centuries, across so many cultures, the left hand was associated with bad luck or evil or impurity. And our sources detail some really heartbreaking accounts of how, in schools, left-handed children were often physically forced to write with their right hand. Can you imagine the sheer frustration?
It's awful to think about.
The confusion for a child in that situation, being told your natural way is just fundamentally wrong. It really makes you realize how deep societal biases can run.
It truly is a stark reminder, isn't it, how cultural beliefs can really impact individual lives. And it's only really in the last few decades, relatively speaking, that society has started to accept left-handedness as just a natural, perfectly valid variation, not something that needed to be fixed or corrected.
Yeah, thankfully.
And this shift in perspective is absolutely crucial. It allows people to just embrace their natural inclinations, develop without that undue pressure. And what's particularly compelling here, despite or maybe even because of this historical stigma and the challenges it presented, left-handers are disproportionately represented among some of history's greatest minds and leaders. It's quite remarkable.
Like who?
Well, think about legendary figures. Leonardo da Vinci, Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, Marie Curie, even more recently, Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey.
Wow.
Even Barack Obama is left-handed.
I didn't know that about Obama.
Yeah. And our sources highlight a truly remarkable statistic. Nearly 50%, half of U.S. presidents in the past century were left-handed.
50%. When you're only 10% of the population.
Exactly. An astonishing figure. It really raises a significant question. Is this just a coincidence? Or does navigating a world designed for right-handers somehow hone these unique problem-solving abilities, maybe resilience, that prepares them for leadership?
That is a powerful point. It's almost ironic, isn't it? From being told they were wrong to finding this surprising edge in sports.
Yes, the sports advantage.
Let's talk about that. Here's a twist you might not expect. Left-handers often have a huge advantage in many competitive sports. Think tennis, boxing, cricket, baseball, even fencing. Most players are right-handed.
Overwhelmingly.
They spend all their time training and competing against other right-handers.
Yeah.
So when they suddenly face a lefty,
It throws them off.
completely. The experience is unfamiliar. It introduces this element of surprise, an unpredictable edge. The angles are different. The spin on the ball is different. The whole rhythm can be disrupted.
Absolutely.
And this is precisely why you see left-handers overrepresented at the elite level, like Rafael Nadal in tennis, just dominating.
Or Wasim Akram in cricket, a legendary bowler.
Exactly. Leveraging this powerful, almost tactical advantage. It's like a built-in strategic asset they bring to every match.
It's an excellent illustration of how being in the minority can actually become a tactical strength. And, you can trace that back to what we were discussing about their unique brain wiring.
How so?
Well, another fascinating insight suggests left-handers might actually be better at multitasking.
Really?
Multitasking. Yeah, because their brains often distribute tasks across both hemispheres, remember? It's sort of like having two highly coordinated teams working in parallel on something complex, instead of one specialized team handling everything step by step.
Okay, I can see that.
This might allow them to switch between tasks or handle multiple streams of information more efficiently. It could potentially explain why they seem to excel in fields needing that out-of-the-box thinking and quick adaptability.
But it's not all advantages, right? You mentioned resilience earlier.
Right. It's important to note it's not an entirely straightforward picture. There are nuances. While you have these cognitive advantages, some studies do suggest left-handers might face slightly higher risks for certain conditions, like dyslexia,
Okay.
which affects reading and writing, or maybe ADHD, affecting focus. Yet, on the flip side, other studies indicate they might actually recover from strokes faster
Faster. Why?
because of that same unique brain wiring. That distributed function might allow for greater neural flexibility, alternative pathways, if one area is damaged.
Wow.
So it truly is a kind of double-edged sword. It showcases both challenges and this remarkable resilience. It's a testament to the intricate complexity of brain structure and function.
That's a perfect way to put it, a double-edged sword. And this distinct demographic, this 10%, has even led to an entire left-handed economy, which is kind of amazing.
It is.
Companies actively make products just for them. Left-handed scissors, spiral notebooks, opening the other way, guitars.
Kitchen utensils, computer mice.
Yeah, ergonomic mice.
Yeah.
You can literally find a specialized version of almost anything. Our sources even mentioned a rather delightful detail. There's a store in London called Anything Left-Handed, entirely dedicated to these products.
Well, I've heard of that.
And to celebrate this community and raise awareness, August 13th is officially International Left-Handers Day.
Good to know.
This niche market, it isn't just about selling tools, is it? It's really a powerful testament to how even a minority group can shape consumer markets, drive innovation and design, and foster this strong sense of community and shared identity in a world that's mostly right-handed. It's a real-world example of how diversity creates new economic and cultural spaces.
It's a wonderful example of adaptation and entrepreneurship, too. And building on that idea of adaptation, you might assume handedness is purely genetic, right? Passed down.
Yeah, seems logical.
But here's a really quirky fact that challenges that. Identical twins.
Okay.
They often have opposite handedness. One's right-handed, the other's left, even though they share the exact same DNA.
Wait, really? Same genes, different hands.
Exactly. And this isn't just some minor anomaly. It profoundly suggests that while genetics obviously play a role, a significant one, handedness is also deeply influenced by other things, like the subtle environment within the womb, maybe even random developmental chances. It's far more complex, more nuanced than just a simple inherited trait.
That throws a wrench in the works, doesn't it?
It does. And if we look beyond the biology, it's fascinating how cultural beliefs about left-handedness vary so wildly across the globe.
We talked about sinister.
Right. And in some Hindi traditions, for instance, the left hand was historically seen as less auspicious, maybe associated with personal hygiene, so less clean for certain interactions. Okay.
But then conversely, you look at the ancient Celts. They often held a totally different view. They believed left-handed people were touched with special creativity, maybe even divine inspiration or mystical abilities.
Wow, polar opposites.
Completely.
Yeah.
These diverse perceptions just underscore how something as fundamental as which hand you use can be loaded with vastly different cultural meanings and values.
That's an incredible spectrum of belief, isn't it? From sinister all the way to divinely touched. It really brings us back to the core mystery, though. Despite all these insights, brain wiring, history, advantages, culture, scientists still don't fully understand why. Why does left-handedness exist? If it's rarer and historically it was stigmatized, why hasn't evolution just, I don't know, phased it out? You'd think a trait with perceived downsides might fade. What are the leading theories trying to crack that?
Yeah, that is the million-dollar question for evolutionary biologists. One really compelling theory suggests that left-handedness might give a unique survival advantage, but at a population level.
Okay. Well, it could be through the unpredictability in combat we touched on with sports. Think about ancient warfare, or even just one-on-one skirmishes. A minority of left-handers could offer a crucial surprise advantage.
The element of surprise again?
Exactly. But more broadly, it could also be about promoting diversity and brain wiring within the whole species. This neural diversity, meaning a wider range of cognitive processing styles in the population, might lead to more innovative solutions to environmental challenges, or just enhance our overall adaptability as a species.
So like having different kinds of thinkers is good for the group.
Precisely. In essence, you could see left-handers as maybe nature's way of keeping the human species balanced, resilient, and cognitively flexible, ensuring we have a broader toolkit for survival and progress. It's like a built-in resilience mechanism through variation.
So the next time you meet a left-hander, remember, you're looking at someone whose brain might be wired in this truly unique, adaptable way. Someone whose historical challenges have perhaps forged a remarkable kind of resilience, and whose rarity has actually hidden some of the greatest talents and leaders in human history. Being left-handed, it really isn't just about which hand you happen to use. It's about being part of this extraordinary minority that has profoundly left its mark on science, art, politics, sports, the very evolution of our species.
Absolutely. This deep dive really shows us that what might initially seem like just a small, everyday detail about human variation, something as simple as handedness, can actually unlock these profound insights into brain function, societal evolution, and the surprising ways diversity enriches our world. And really makes you wonder, doesn't it, what other subtle differences in ourselves and in others hold such hidden significance and maybe unexpected strengths?
Yeah.